So we're going to open a file in Photopea, and you can see you can do a new project. You can open from your computer, or you can drag and drop like I did. This is the background, and I'm duplicating it. Now I have two. I'm turning off the visibility of the one layer. Here I'm going to like the eraser tool. I'm changing the size. The idea is to separate out pieces onto different layers. So here I'm separating out this picture of a person in a dress. You can see up on layer 1 how it's disappearing as I do so. And I can change the size of the brush, right? I want a small brush as I do close-up details, and a large brush as I'm hitting the bigger areas. You're going to want to zoom in so you can actually get like nice and close to the image. Now there are many ways to erase backgrounds away from subject matter. In this case, I'm doing the eraser tool method. It is not the best method, but it is the simplest method to understand. Just erase away what you need to get rid of. So I'm going back and I'm reduplicating the background again, which will give me another new layer. This one I'm going to call layer 2. Turning off the visibility of the other layers so that I can see how the changes are affected. This time I'm going to go get that car. So I'm going to use a selection tool. I'm using the rectangular marquee and basically just clicking and dragging around an area and then hitting the delete key. Now let's zoom in so I could do a little bit of closer work. I have to make sure the old selection is turned off. I have to delete that selection so that I can actually use the tool in other areas. So that all selections are off now, so I'm just erasing around the car. So now I got the car on a layer and the person on a layer. We'll make our next layer. This time I'm going to cut out this weird looking drone thing at the top. You can see again I'm using these selection tools to select an area and then delete. Now one of my favorite tools is the magic wand, and the magic wand will let you select an area. In this case it was the blue background, and then I just hit delete and it got rid of all of it. It won't work for everything, but in that case it was a good tool to use. This time I'm going to use the polygon lasso. And what this does, it'll let you make points along the way. So you can click and move and click and move, and you can see it's good for following this building. Now, of course, if I was zoomed in and did it with a lot more, finesse, I could be very, very accurate. In this case, I'm doing it pretty quickly. But it is nice. It will let you really accurately select distances with a straight line. Of course, you have to complete the whole thing, so I'm going to click on the edge here. I'm having trouble catching it. I got to be right on the image. And I'm going to go down to the corner, and then I'll go back to where I started. You have to completely encircle something to mask it with the marquee tool. But now I can do an inverse there. Did you see I went to select inverse? I made everything else selected and deleted it. Alright, so you can select an object and then invert it to get everything else. So I'm at 4 layers at this point. I'm doing my 5th. Might as well get the other side of buildings. Things that recede into the distance to a z-point axis can be really interesting in an AR 2D augmented reality experience. go. So I have my 5 layers in the background. Now, if we're going to put this in augmented reality in Artivive, that background is the trigger image. It's the one that the Artivive app's going to recognize.